entrepreneur in this world is filled with risk, with thoughts, with excitement, and so many factors altogether. When we look at Microsoft, Bill Gates, people always think for a moment, had I also been in that position of an innovator? I am the person who is going to be an innovator. I am the person who understands the capital labor factor, and I am going to drive the economic growth with innovation. I try to integrate into production and the natural resources and all the factors that they have to be. There are some times when an entrepreneur is facing a challenge. Why? Because of the bureaucracy problem. Good morning and welcome to the first session of Entrepreneurship Development Program, the EDP subject. And the first session we are going to see about the meaning and definition of entrepreneurship. So this is the Unit 1 first session, and we are going to explore the journey of what is entrepreneurship and why it is important for us. Now moving forward, let's try to understand the introduction in terms of entrepreneurship. Now, entrepreneur is an individual who is creating a new business, bearing into the most of the risk, enjoying the most of the rewards also. Now, this is a very, very exciting thought process altogether. As an entrepreneur, what do you think that you are going to achieve in life? The answer is quite simple. I am probably going to achieve the best of the best outcome in terms of mind, in terms of money, in terms of innovation as far as possible. But then, is entrepreneurship as risky as possible? The answer is definitely yes. Why? Because every entrepreneur in this world is filled with risk, with thoughts, with excitement, and so many factors altogether. But still, the entrepreneur will not give up on his thought process, will not give up on his ambition, because he feels that this journey is going to be a lifetime journey that is going to give him the rewards, that is going to give him the benefits of being an entrepreneur. Now, that is why the entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new idea, goods, and business procedures altogether. So whenever you look at entrepreneurs, whenever you see all those big business leaders' name popping out in magazines, popping out in the media channels, you always felt and you always feel that I should have done it. I should have also been there. Now, for example, when we look at Microsoft, Bill Gates, people always think for a moment, had I also been in that position of an innovator, had I also been the first person to write a program or a code and then start up a software company, I should have been a billionaire today. But unfortunately, for most of us, the biggest challenge is the fear factor, is the risk-taking ability factor. So we don't become successful entrepreneurs. We remain where we are. So somewhere down the lane, let's understand this procedure, understand the ideology altogether. We all are entrepreneurs in nature. Yes, definitely, we keep innovating ourselves every day. We all try to do something new. But then what distinguishes a true entrepreneur is that he takes the risk because he believes that every risk that is taken will also give him reward. So he goes that extra mile. He wants to take the journey. He moves forward. He understands that yes, he is going to make a good reward, a good journey altogether. So that's how we believe that this is going to be a fantastic trip altogether. Moving forward, let's try to understand the role of the entrepreneur. What's the role of the entrepreneur? He plays a key role in any economy, using the skills and the initiative necessary to anticipate needs, bring new ideas to the market. Narayan Murthy, way back in the year 1982-83, when he started a very, very small company called as Infosys, people never believed in his idea. People thought that, what is it? What is information technology all about? Is he going to bring a difference to the economy? Is he going to be a person who's going to give job to more than 3 lakh people today? The answer was no at that point of time. Probably people never even thought that this person could bring a difference to the economy. This person could give job to almost 500,000 people across the globe, directly or indirectly. But then the truth had its time. The truth came out after 20 years, saying that Infosys became one of the most valuable companies in India. Infosys became one of the most innovative companies, one of the most daring and dashing company that could make its name in NASDAQ, that could make its name in NYSE. The reason was that the visionary, the thought process, the way how they could propel up the economy, the way how they could add value to the economy. So that's why I would say that the role of the entrepreneur in an economy is very, very important, because they play a very key role in terms of bringing up employment, in terms of adding up value to the system, and they are the people who are going to acclaim that glory altogether. So they are who understand the skill set. They anticipate that yes, things are going to move in a particular manner. Let's ride that wave and let's create something better for the economy. So entrepreneurs are definitely the people who are going to run the economy in different league, in different level altogether. They also prove to be successful in taking risks. Now, this is a very, 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 very interesting factor altogether. They are the people who take the risk of a startup and they are rewarded with profits. Absolutely fantastic. Why? Because risk is directly equal to reward. That's what I always like to say here. Without taking risk, you cannot enjoy the rewards. So they are the people who know that there is a risk involved in a business, but they want to take it because there is a reward there. They continue with the profits, they continue with the fame, they continue to grow as a personality, as an empire that could really spell success for them. And those who fail, suffer losses, become less relevant in the market, and they lose off very easily. Now, probably like Narayan Murthy, there might be hundreds and thousands of people in the world who dreamt about starting an IT company, but they were not able to do. That doesn't mean that they are failures completely, but yet they were not able to see the success. Like Narayan Murthy, everybody would have felt that one day their company will also get listed in NYSE, in NASDAQ. Probably they would also become one of the most successful entrepreneurs, which the history would like to recognize themselves, reckon themselves as one of the leaders of the Indian economy. But they were not, because probably the time did not work out for them. They did not have the luck. They could not be able to move forward. Their dedication and hard work did not give them the result or the fruits of success. But nevertheless, they're all entrepreneurs. Why? Because they were able to go that extra mile. They were able to take that risk, propel themselves, make them something really successful in life. But ultimately, what happened is that this is what has happened. They became very, very less relevant because they were not able to see success. So they slowly go down the lane. They're not being recognized at all. Moving forward, the role of an entrepreneur, very, very important. A person who understands a risk and starts a new venture, he is called as an entrepreneur. So he understands. Today, let's say that I want to start a logistics business. I understand the risk of the logistic business. I'm not a kind of personality who believes that, okay, risk will be there and reward will also be there, so let me just forget it. No, definitely not. I'm a kind of person who understands the risk, who understands the eventuality very, very clearly. So I will take the risk. I will understand what is happening altogether and I move forward. So definitely, yes, I do believe what is the problem here, what are all the scenarios that I am seeing here altogether. But then what happens here is that I also drive the economic growth. I also drive the factors of innovation very, very clearly. So I believe that somewhere down the lane, I am the person who is going to be an innovator. I am the person who understands the capital labor factor, and I am going to drive the economic growth with innovation. So for an entrepreneur, what is that really challenges? What is that really pulls all along is that he needs labor, he needs capital, he needs that personality, he needs the people who can come forward, who can stick together and grow with him. So that innovation, that economic growth, everything really matters. It really drives him to the next level as far as possible. Entrepreneurship is high risk, no doubt about it, but also can be a high reward because it serves to generate economic wealth. Now, when you talk about all these people like, Jeff Bezos of Amazon or a Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, they've all been entrepreneurs who are today sitting in billions of dollars as cash. But that's not just the story for us, but that's the ground reality. Why? Because they are people who have taken that high risk. Today they are enjoying the high reward. So they believe at one point of time that the economic wealth that they have created, the huge amount of propulsion that they have done in terms of building an empire, is quite credible. It's quite a story to be remembered for all of us. Can you also become an entrepreneur? Can you also build a history for tomorrow? The answer is definitely yes. All it requires is the calculation of risk, is the calculation of all the factors, taking it forward, and yes, you can be there. You can be an innovator altogether. So entrepreneurship is for everybody. It's for you, it's for me. The only factor is that, are you ready to propel yourself and move forward to that level? With that, let's move forward and try to understand the entrepreneurship in terms of how they work. They try to integrate. That's the most important factor. They try to integrate into production and the natural resources and all the factors that they have together. Now, entrepreneur is not an island. He is not a lonely personality. He is a person who tries to combine all the factors of land, labor, and capital. I may sound going back into economics, but then that's the truth here. To become an entrepreneur, you need to know these three factors: land, labor, and capital. Because without land, labor, and capital, you will not be able to do entrepreneurship. Let's say you are into manufacturing or you are into the factors of starting up an e-venture or anything. You need that land, labor, capital. You need land to set up your office. You need labor to work for you. You need capital to drive the business. So the fundamentals of economics is what we are trying to experience as a personality of an entrepreneur. You cannot give up on an entrepreneur so easily. He is a person who visualizes himself. He thinks several times, what are all the right ingredients that I need to combine so that I will be able to get the best out of my ability. So he tries to see a business which is able to combine all the resources, all the strengths, all the factors put together, and then he's able to grow further. He's able to create a platform for himself. He's able to provide a leadership, management for all those business that we are talking about. So this is going to be an exciting journey altogether. This is definitely going to take you forward, make you understand that yes, they have been doing a great job altogether. They have been typically able to push forward, push yourself in terms of understanding the growth process. Now, we are also going to talk about the common factors in terms of the challenges that they are facing. Now, one of the main things that I would always see here is the bureaucracy that's coming into picture in most of our area, the hiring talent and obtaining financing. Today, when you look into India, of late, there has been a very good report about India where the ease of doing business, the ranks are definitely going up altogether. We have also been able to see that people are really able to go forward, think and take forward the business. But then there are some times when an entrepreneur is facing a challenge. Why? Because of the bureaucracy problem. He's not getting a clearance as easy as possible. He's not a kind of person who's able to spell a lot of success because there are governmental rules and regulations that break his ideas, that break his innovation, that break his thought process altogether. So definitely overcoming bureaucracy is not going to happen so easily. Followed by hiring talent. Now, when I go back to Microsoft, because Paul Allen Gardner joined hands together with Bill Gates, and he could get probably the best of the best minds together. And when you had Steve with him together as a partner, all those people, when they joined hands together, they were able to get in terms of a business that was incredible. So what I mean to say here is that business is a combination of right talent with the right knowledge. If you're not able to get people who have the right talent and right knowledge with you, probably you will not be able to grow your business. So somewhere down the lane, you need to have the right set of people with you. So that is what matters a lot. If you don't have that right talent, you don't have the right people with you, then you are not able to grow. Followed by, where is the money? If nobody is giving you money, if nobody is giving you the finance that is needed for in order to start your business and run, then you will not be able to visualize your dream. You know the story of most of the entrepreneurs, starting from Dhirubhai Ambani or starting from the Google or from any other company, they all struggle for that initial money. Today, they might be billionaires on this earth, but initially they didn't have that money to go forward, run the company and take it forward. They didn't have that factors at all. So what happens here is that somewhere down the lane, you will start understanding that people, money and the regularities of the business will definitely pose a very big challenge for the entrepreneurs. If they are not able to get it, if they are not able to proceed it, then they will not become true entrepreneurs. Followed by, we are also going to talk about a very, very important factor called as the entrepreneur and the financing. Now, there are many ways in which you can get finance today. We are going to talk about something called as bootstrapping. We're also going to talk about the methods that is going to provide you money. But then this bootstrapping and methodology is quite a long process because it's not going to happen so easily. They are going to look into several ventures. They are going to look into different methods, different ideology, and then you are going to get the finance. So today, most of the entrepreneurs are struggling because they don't get money. They're being held back in terms of the factors. They're being held back because their partners are armed with greater access to capital. There are many situations where new firms acquire money through venture capitalists, and there's a lot of crowdsourcing, common pooling, and all these methods which are helping the entrepreneurs to come up. So definitely, when you look at all these factors here, they are a very big challenge for today in terms of financing. Though you might say that, venture capitalists are there. There are people who can help you. There are people who are ready to venture you out in terms of business, but it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that, accessible in terms of getting the money at any given point of time. Moving forward, we are going to talk about the entrepreneurs' impact on the economy. I've always said that America, being the world's greatest nation in terms of being a capitalistic economy, has been able to survive, has been able to create all those factors, all the profit-driven. It's because of the knowledge and capitalism. It's because of the entrepreneurial mode which they had gone years back. Moment a country is able to promote entrepreneurship, moment a country is able to go on the capitalistic mode altogether, and they are able to do it, they are able to create a niche, a name for themselves, automatically they would start spurring towards growth altogether. So in technical economic terms here, the entrepreneur disrupts the course towards a steady state equilibrium. So that is where I would say that moment an entrepreneurship starts coming in here, it starts building up. The challenges, what we see here, the entrepreneur really breaks through the economy. He's not going into a balanced state. He's not going into a mode which is just creating a flat economy, but he's going into a mode that's going to create a capitalistic economy, an economy which is propelling, and an economy which is compelling towards growth, towards all sign of the positivity altogether. If you look at America, probably they have the maximum number of companies in the Fortune 500 list. And that has been possible. Why? Because America always felt that being a capitalistic economy allowed the right talent, allowed the right kind of business to set in, which will propel the economy to the next level as far as possible. Probably our country got this message in a later stage. We started the growth and concept of entrepreneurship only in the late 2000. So that's why India today lags behind most of the developed countries, but no need to worry. Probably in the next 4 or 5 years, India would define the new America to the world. India would become the entrepreneurial hub altogether. Now, moving forward, with this, we come to the end of the first session in meaning and definition of entrepreneurship. I hope and believe that this session was highly interesting, useful, and resourceful altogether. In the next session, we are going to talk about some of the characteristics, some of the factors of entrepreneurship altogether. Until then, stay tuned, stay blessed, and stay enlightened forever. Thank you once again for joining me on this wonderful session.